Hello and welcome to another Jack Welding Specialist video. I'm Fergus, and this episode I will be continuing and hopefully finishing the Jag XJC. It's been sort of stopped for a minute because I've been changing workshops, and also just when I was in the other workshop it was quite dark and dingy and I just wasn't feeling able to do my best work, so I decided to pause on it and continue other jobs and then transfer it over to this new workshop where I've got more space, it's lighter, and I can just kind of continue, almost start again on the bits that I need to finish, which feels better as I've realised that I'm not maybe that great at doing long-term projects, especially on my own, and I've only found that out through doing things. I can do them, but yeah, for me it seems to take exponentially longer. Mainly this Jag was trying to make the panels that I'm reproducing very nice and, you know, just do a good job, or as good as I can do. And yeah, so I've got to finish doing the rear passenger corner, so I will pan the camera around and show you the area that I've got to deal with. Here is the car. So this is the area that I'm going to be aiming to finish, all this down here. Now it's sort of sat out a bit, so I need to clean off all the surface rust in here, and then kind of reapply the etch primer and paint. It's all painted inside the panels, and they will be wax oiled inside once that's all done. So yeah, this is what I'm trying to finish. I've got this panel here that I had quickly blasted to get the inner side of that sort of sorted. So yeah, there's a fair amount to do to finish off. So yeah, I'm going to be jacking the back up, taking the wheels off, lowering these swing arms out the way, and then just painting inside and getting away the surface corrosion, and then piece by piece just putting it back together. And then once that's all done, we can get it off for well, I'm going to red oxide primer all of the interior, mask all of this up obviously, and then the underside, just got to check that all the right tabs and sort of bolt holes and fixings there, and then potentially build up the rear window doors, and check the alignment of these doors, because this door seems to be touching on the front wings, and I think there's also a couple of jobs around the front inner wings and things like that. So we will concentrate on this one for the minute, and then yeah, once we've done this we'll go around to the other bits and tick off other jobs. So yeah, I won't be doing too many sort of videos showing me doing the job. I'll just come back once I've completed the next stage and show you what I've done. Cool, see you in the next clip. Okay, so I've got this back wheel off in the area that I need to finish up, so I'm just going to go over and sort of itemize the sections that I need to finish off and put in. So first of all, we have this section of the seat pan, which will sit in just about like so, and then amongst this we probably need, I think there's going to be a little bit of an extension on this piece to go this way, as it was a bit wider. I'll take a reference from the other side, and then we need to create a piece that goes from here and merges into here. Might need to adjust this shape just a little bit, and also going down straight into there. And then we need to make, I think, two more pieces, one that comes down and follows this shape of the wheel arch, and just lips round into here as well, and it just comes up to here and pops around there, and then I think penultimately a section that goes in here, and also down in this section here. So I also need to just check what the welds are like in for this section, as they are plug welded on the bottom, so there may be a few areas that I need to finish, and I might be able to add a couple more inside here, but I'll decide that when I'm doing it, and just check that there's no sort of worrying internal corrosion that I can deal with now. So I'll probably try and clean a good amount of this up in here, on this side, and on here, clean all this off. And I mean, I had considered trying to go up here. As you can see, it's getting a little bit crusty up there, but I'm not too sure. I think I might, because I'll end up having to take this this out here, and as it's potentially going to have the undersealing sorted, and this axle will potentially come down, I can potentially do all of this aside from this section here, and then when it all comes out, I can redo a patch in there, because yeah, this patch is going to be cut open a square like that, and then there's going to be a box inside there that just stops these bolts from actually crushing the chassis section. So all I'm going to be replacing is the top panel here with the two holes that replicate this, and then a square plate that's kind of a reinforcer for these bolts. Just like this, you see it's just one plate there, and it will be the same thing on the inside. So yeah, I'm gonna work out which bits I'm gonna make first. Probably the most easiest to make, as you know, why work harder? That's one thing that I've learned, is just sometimes just do the easy thing, do the simple way, as if it gets you there, then that's great. And you know, there's no point trying to overcomplicate stuff when it's just sheet steel that bends. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, and then I'll be back once I've made a couple of bits or tacked stuff in. So yeah, just been trying to make a template for the mirror side, so I've just got this tape. Other people may use a different method, but I think this is fine for these types of panels. And just layer the tape, so twice, so do one crossways and then another the other way, and then you have a template of, you know, mark the edges that you want to, you know, be the important ones, and then you just get this around, and then just mirror. You kind of invert the creases, and then just get a rough kind of shape for what it should look like. So then I'll go and transfer this to a piece of steel, cut it out, and then start to sort of mock up what it should look like in there, and then as I put it in, I can trim it to suit. So yeah, I'll show you once I've put this on the steel. So I've transferred this shape into the steel, and I've made it oversized slightly. So what I'm going to be doing is using these shapes to kind of make sure that these curves are the same. So I'm just kind of going to hold it in that kind of position, and you can see along this edge, so it needs to be trimmed. This actually inside bit is another panel, so we'll need to make that, and then yeah, we'll need to make sure this curve at the bottom is correct, but it's not too difficult a thing. So if I just pop the camera in there. So I just want to start trying to So yeah, I'm just going to bend this to suit that, and then come back once it's in a better position. So I've just curved this top section just to be a little bit better in there, but as you can see down the bottom we need to adjust the shape of that. So when I'm making these panels, I'll get it to like the profile. You see how the profile of this inner wheel arch is sort of matching just about, and it's also, I've got enough material to move down with it if I need to. So what I will do now is I will mark a parallel line from this edge and scribe it along the top, and then trim off that material, and then it should just seat down just a little bit more. And what I'm looking for is for the panel to just, you see how this is level, it goes, so this is going to go straight along and then curve up. So I'm looking to make this bottom area sit lower than that, so then I have material to trim off, and then I can make that shape a little bit sharper maybe, and add this sort of, you see how it's returned edge, and then before that I'll obviously trim off all these bits around it that are, sort of have surface corrosion, and treat those before putting this in along with these sorts of bits. And what I'll do is I'll make the piece, make it so it's ready to go in, and if there are panels around it that need to go in, then I won't weld this in until those are all made. So yeah, so I've just scribed along this bottom edge, if you can just about see that. So I'll trim this all the way along parallel, and then we'll see the difference that it makes. So I've got this section in a pretty good position, and I've also got enough material to add a return lip, like as you see there, and I'll do the same along the bottom here. So fold it outwards and match this, and obviously you can see I've got enough material at the top there, so it will be okay. So I go put this on the bead roller and put the swage along the bottom section here. So I've got this pretty much in the position I want and trimmed. There will be some areas that I trim down, like you see this is just a bit over long, but when I weld this in I'll keep this long and then trim it to suit when we're at that stage. Obviously I might have to do some bits up here whilst I'm doing this area. Maybe I even need to make a section that just goes around here, but we'll come to that later. So this is where I'm going to leave the panel for the minute, maybe just etch prime it so it's not going to surface rust, and then begin to make other panels surrounding it, like this bottom section, and do the bits in there. So I will come back in probably the next video actually, and do some other bits. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.